Here we go. So this is Kroll's demonstration of a 60 kilowatt rated titanium heat exchanger suitable for heating swimming pools or whatever application you've got that requires water being heated up. What I'm going to do here is turn on our pool pump. And sadly we didn't have a swimming pool to heat up, but what we did have is 200 odd litres of water in a 44 gallon drum. And you can see we've got quite a high flow rate of water coming through there. So the water gets sucked up into the pump, through the pump, and then it gets pushed through this copper pipe here and down through the outside of our Shallon tube heat exchanger. And then it returns back, to the pool. So we've got a loop on the swimming pool side, or in our case our 44 gallon drum side, of water rushing through the external of this heat exchanger. Just to digress for a minute, our swimming pool water is going in here and coming out there of this 60 kilowatt heat exchanger. What we're going to do is we're going to pass hot water through the boiler side or the hot water side, and of course the fluids never exchange fluids between themselves. They use the walls of the titanium rods in here to exchange heat. Okay, so just to back up a little bit, cool water in here, out there. The hot water from our boiler comes in here, shoots out there, and the idea is that they exchange heat with each other. So what's happened, Pete, that boiler just fired up, so maybe shoot over there. What we can see is that our burner gun just started up and our hot water supply is currently at about 56 degrees centigrade. Okay, so that's the temperature of the water that's going to pass through the heat exchanger from the boiler side. Just going back to the heat exchanger over here, so the water from the boiler in fact comes through on this black 1-inch pipe through the middle of the heat exchanger. There's the circulating pump, comes out and back to our boiler. Okay. All right. So what we want to do is we're going to warm up our water in our swimming pool or our 44 gallon drum, and see how long it takes to lift the water temperature by 20 degrees centigrade. Okay. So our pool temperature's over here. It's sitting at about 27.7, and our return temperature side. Okay, so this is through the pool pump, high flow rate of water, high volume of water, is around about the same temperature. So what I'm going to do now is turn on, let's take a shot here, Pete. I'm going to turn on the circulating pump for the boiler side fluid. Okay, so I'll turn that on now, and as soon as that starts up, you can feel the hot water shooting through the heat exchanger. Okay, so now what we're going to do is pretty much turn on our stopwatch here. And we'll make a note that zero time was 28.5 degrees centigrade, which is the water in the pool or 44 gallon drum, and we're just going to see how long it takes to get up to 48.7 degrees. So you might as well just keep heating that, filming that, Pete, and then I can edit it as we go through. Okay.
to see this overlay.
Okay, so what we can see, everyone, is that our water temperature is lifting up, and we've got high volume, high flow rate water coming in at about 33.9 degrees on the left from the pool pump, and it's mixing up with the rest of the water, so we're getting this gradual increase in the pool temperature. Now, of course, the return temperature has got its own probe, and it's that probe's inserted in our return line here, and you can see the flow rate of that water is quite high. Okay, we might just move over here now, see what our boiler's doing, and our boiler's struggling a little bit to handle the heat exchange, but still sitting at about 60 degrees centigrade. Okay, so here we are. It's 6.5 minutes later according to the iPhone stopwatch, and our pool temperature is up to about 10 degrees warmer than when it started. So we're back again here, and we're coming up to around about 10 minutes on our stopwatch there, and our pool is about 43 degrees. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to time how long it takes to get from 28.7 to 48.7. So we're back again here, and we're coming up to around about 10 minutes on our stopwatch there, and our pool is about 43 degrees. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to time how long it takes to get from 28.7 to 48.7. Okay, so here we are back again, and our trusty stopwatch is 13.5 minutes there, and our 200 litre swimming pool is nearly 48 degrees. So when that gets to 48.7, we will have lifted the 200 litres volume of water 20 degrees. Okay, so 48.5, 6. Okay, so there you go. So it took us 14 minutes and 20 seconds to heat our 200 litres of water. And pretty soon we're going to work out exactly why it took that long. To summarise, what we just did before was we had 200 litres of water, and we lifted the temperature of the water from 28.7 degrees C to 48.7 degrees C. So that's a temperature difference, or a delta T, of 20 degrees C, and the time taken was
14 minutes
33 seconds.
Thanks, Pete. Was about 14.5 minutes. Okay, now believe it or not, there were no big surprises here because the simple arithmetic behind heating water up or heating any object up really, these principles are pretty well understood. So for example, if Q is the amount of energy you need to heat water up from a certain temperature to another temperature, is proportional to what's called the specific heat of water, the mass of the water, which we'll assume is the same as the volume in this case, and the temperature difference. So for example, if you wanted to calculate the amount of energy to lift one kilogram of water by 100 degrees C, that would require 419 kilojoules of energy. 4.19 is the specific heat of water. That's the weight of the water. Now again, with normal water, the weight and volume are pretty close anyway. And 100 degrees is the temperature lift you're looking for. So that's the amount of energy you need to lift that 1 kilogram of water by 100 degrees C. So in our case, we were lifting around about 200 kilograms of water, or 200 litres, and we lifted it by 20 degrees C. So let me see, Pete, what have we got here? We've got 8.38 by 100 by 20 is 8.38 by 2000. So what I'm going to do is just guesstimate that as being around about 2 eighths of 16,000 kilojoules, which is equal to 16 megajoules, or equivalent to that. Okay, so our theory says the energy needed is 16 megajoules to lift the water 20 degrees C if the water volume or weight is 200 degrees C. So around here we tend to work in kilowatts, and we happen to know that 100 megajoules is equivalent to around about 28 kilowatts running for 1 hour non-stop. So what I'm going to do is convert 16 megajoules and find out how many kilowatt hours that is. So 1 megajoule therefore is equivalent to 28 kilowatt hours divided by 100. Therefore 16 megajoules equals 16 by 28 on 100, and the units will be kilowatt hours. So let's see what happens. So 16 times 28 equals that. Geez, it looks big, Pete. Divided by 100 equals, let's call it 4.5 kilowatts delivered over 1 hour. Now we only ran for about 15 minutes, which is a quarter of an hour. So the amount of energy we needed to do what we did was 4.5 on a quarter of an hour kilowatts. So that is equal to around about 18 kilowatts were required to lift 200 litres of water by 20 degrees C. Therefore, our heat exchanger over the average period there was exchanging about 18 kilowatts of heat over that 15 odd minutes. Okay, so the point is that if you want to heat, say, 1,000 litres of water, a specific temperature, it's pretty easy to calculate how many megajoules you need, and therefore how many kilowatts are required. Okay, so that's